And now we move to some more two-dimensional art. First, we have spotted horses and negative hand imprints. And what we're looking at is basically a rock that's been painted with these horses and handprints. Now, horses to Paleolithic man were a food source. And the theory here is that the horses were painted because if you look at the right side of the rock here, you'll notice it looks an awful lot like the head. Excuse my horrible drawing with a mouse. Looks an awful lot like the head of a horse. So they're fitting it into place, just like if you drew on a wall as a child, you might have used a crack or something else that happened to be shaped or remind you of something to depict something very similar. You'll notice the red and black. The black they're using is charcoal, which would have been plentiful as they had fire at the time. The red, as I've discussed, is red ochre. And the spots of white that we see are actually chalk. It's calcium carbonate that they've either mixed with water or chewed. Now, the hand imprints are really interesting. They look like they've been spray painted or airbrushed. And what they're actually doing is they're putting that charcoal paint mixture, in this case, in their mouth, putting their hand down, and then spraying it with their mouth to leave that negative imprint. The imprints could mean any number of things. This could be seen from their mythology. This could be some kind of religious symbolism. Maybe the person who killed one of these horses is being depicted by their hands, being depicted with the horse. Could be any number of different things. Which brings us to this piece, just called Bison. And this is actually 60 feet of painted ceiling. We're just seeing part of it here. And what we're seeing are bison, which are curled up, almost as if they're sleeping on the ground, and we are somehow in a drone or floating above them, looking down. And according to the textbook, this idea that this is a group could be misleading. Gardner actually refers to this as a cloud of bison, which would be alarming because I don't want to know what comes out of clouds of bison. But instead, this could be just a group. Imagine if you're 4 or 5 years old, you draw your family. You're going to draw them all next to each other, right? They're not going to be overlapping. You're not going to put the children in front of the adults. Each one is independent. And so that may be what we're seeing is this group of bison, each one depicted and thought of independently of one another. And this is a recreation by an artist of these pieces. And you can see the detail that goes into these bison. These are being done with the same blowing technique that we saw with the hand imprints. And they're actually very, very detailed. Yet the reason for them being there is, as of yet, unclear, and something that we'll talk about a little bit later.